In the 2020s, a pandemic crippled the world. Some panicked, some denied it. These two guys stayed home, drank, and watched movies. These are the Jaymeson tapes.
Hey, let's sink it and drink it. I've got an Irish car bomb ready. And plop. Hot damn, that was tasty. Hey, welcome to the Jaymeson tapes, everybody.
Woo.
This is episode 3. And for episode 3, real turning point for this as a series. We watched something we didn't expect to be bad.
Yeah, which we will be doing. We're not going to just watch good bad movies, bad movies. It's really just whatever Alan and I want to watch.
This isn't us just like riffing on shitty films.
No.
I see the merit in podcasts like that. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to The Worst Idea of All Time, which is a good podcast, and How Did This Get Made, which is another good one. But hey, welcome to the show. It's the show where we drink and watch movies, and then we talk about it. That's going to have to pass for a tagline.
I mean, that's it. You all know what we're about here. That's it. You just did an Irish car bomb. What else did you
Over the course of the film, I drank 4 tall boys of Strongbow dry cider.
So I've saved this story. I haven't said it yet on this podcast. So I am drinking. It's called Sin Ship, like sin and then a ship, a boat. 1930 smoked rum. By that, it is rum aged in, I believe, whiskey barrels. It's either whiskey or scotch.
Nice.
It's delicious. A lot of stuff gets aged in barrels, but rum is kind of one of the more interesting things I've had. Having a smoky flavor to rum, it's just kind of magical, and I love peatiness in my spirits. My favorite scotch is Lefroy, and this is that peat volume, but it's very, very good. I like it. And the story of how I discovered this is it was Thanksgiving of last year, and my mom said, "Hey, I need you to run down to the corner store to get," I forget what I was getting, like some like dressing or something. And I run down there. I'm like going up and down the aisles trying to find this thing, and I keep passing by this dude with a table out with just stuff on it. And normally I would entertain it, but I'm in a bit of a hurry. Thanksgiving dinner is going to happen. I pass by enough that he just basically like locks eyes with me and goes, No, come here, I swear. And I was like, okay, what's up? And he says, "Do you want to try my small batch rum aged in whiskey barrels?" "Give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back." "Yes, I do." Like, he knew I would do it. And sure enough, yeah, like I finished off whatever else I was drinking that month, and I came back and I bought Sin Ship, and my God, is it delicious. It's local to San Diego County, but if you can find it in stores, definitely give it a try. Rum is something I have not broken into very much, and I think this is a really good kind of introduction because it's kind of like more the Scotch whiskey bourbon thing and then coming into rum. But hell yeah. You probably know a lot more about rum than I do.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm into the tiki drinks, so I have like 4 separate bottles of rum for different cocktails just upstairs, ready to go. And when it comes to tiki cocktails, I like something Jamaican with a little banana funk on it. I'll go with Appleton Estate is really good for that. But probably my go-to rum is Plantation 5-Year. Aside from that, you reminded me of, I went to, anyone who knows me knows, I go to a big gathering of pirates once a year. And this year, one of our admirals brought along some rum some sketchy rum he ordered from a guy.
Oh, no.
It's a guy who makes pirate-based rum that includes gunpowder.
Oh, shit.
And I'm glad, for the sake of authenticity and piratiness, I tasted it, but it is fucking terrible. Gunpowder, if you can get your hands on it, don't.
Maybe just use it as, something flammable.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was just going to be like gunpowder gin, which is just named because it's still got an ABV to where if it gets in your gunpowder, the gunpowder isn't useless.
Yeah.
But no, apparently that was just throwing gunpowder in fucking rum.
Yeah, no, it's rum with actual gunpowder in it. I put that into my body once. Twice, because he's the guy who, if anyone's ever seen the Let's Play series I record on occasion called Drunken Pirate Gaming Nights with Admiral. Admiral Ash is the one who gave that to me, and he gave it to me during Drunken Pirate Gaming Nights, and I was like, this is fucking terrible. But then we were out at the pirate gathering, and he was just going around handing the bottle to people to take shots because he was shit-faced. And so was I when he handed it to me. I had no memory of my previous encounter with the rum. I was just like, oh, hey, yeah, rum.
What have you done to me?
But yeah, good drink talk.
Yes.
We watched a movie.
We watched a movie as recommended to us by our producer and editor and all around awesome dude, Sade.
It rules. We watched an A24 movie, and anyone familiar with Undercooked Analysis, stuff like that, knows we're not unfamiliar with the A24 oeuvre.
I'm a fan of A24.
I am a fan.
Even if I haven't seen everything that they put out, I have yet to see a movie from A24 that doesn't impress me and stick with me, and I can agree it's quality.
We have more than a few A24 movies to watch on our list. I'm excited for all of them. Typically, I get something good out of every experience, and this is no different. We watched Lamb. Lamb came out last year, I think, so it is by far the most recent thing we've watched on the show. And it was a film made in Iceland. It is very Icelandic. Iceland is all over this movie, even though it's going to be samples of the recording of when we watched it. That's where we're going to say Norway a lot of times, because we did not look anything up about this film really until after we watched it.
I kind of prefer doing that personally. Like, obviously there's things we're going to know about, but I like going into films just being surprised.
Yeah, no, I went into this film having seen the trailer like maybe a couple months ago, and that's it.
From the beginning, it's hard to get actually find out about this film and not just have it spoiled of, oh yeah, there's a half lamb, half person. Like, that's not even a spoiler. That's literally on the poster, for this fucking movie. So I don't feel bad saying that at the outset and not giving a spoiler warning. That's not a spoiler.
Do we want to get into it? Do we want to run this film down?
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, this is also a Cannes Film Festival joint. So I wonder if there's any one. There's got to be something else on our list that's also from Cannes, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. So this movie opens up, and hey, sheep exist. It is crazy Iceland winter. It is a blizzard essentially. Sheep exist on a farm in Iceland, happy to do all their little sheepy things. And we hear some heavy breathing amongst the sheep.
Well, I guess it opens with a POV shot of whatever is doing this heavy breathing that's just walking slow. It passes a herd of horses, just eventually comes upon this little sheep enclosure. And the sheep are all very well coordinated in this movie for what they do. Just door opens, figure in darkness is there, breathing all heavy. You can guess what happens, but it was very well done. From there,
we go to our main characters, who we didn't find out the names of till well into the film, but we're going to say now are Maria and Ingvar. They're a married couple who apparently own the entirety of Iceland, from as far as I can see.
I think they own a good fifth of the arable land.
They have a lot of land. We get to see them live in their Iceland farm life. Between the two of them, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of intimacy or affection, anything like that.
We get a lot of that. There's nothing going on.
We get 20 straight minutes in this movie of nothing happening, but it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Abysmii and I went into this having seen The Lighthouse, so I knew something was going to happen.
Yeah, no, I never thought that it was not going to deliver, but we did have to just start we were getting antsy and just started going, okay, so when's Grendel showing up?
Definitely an A24 movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just a documentary of being in Scandinavia.
Yeah. I feel like I'm fully qualified to be Scandinavian now. But you said documentary, not training video.
Okay, what do I say? Nothing. Talking should be a minimal. Although, I mean, if I had to live in fear of Grendel every winter, I probably wouldn't say much either.
Damn it. Fucking Grendel got into the barn again.
Got another pregnant sheep over here.
Fucking Grendel.
Because you teased him once. It's been 20 minutes and no more Grendel.
Oh, yes. You're going to hear a lot of talk about the Grendel. So, yeah, there's not a lot of intimacy. They have a lot of sheep, and they're helping the sheep give birth. And I looked this up in the midst of our pee break between film and recording. And, yeah, in preparation for her role, Numi Rapace, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, spent time on an Icelandic farm and learned how to help sheep birth a lamb. So from there, we get lots of shots of an actress pulling baby sheep out of sheep vagina.
Just straight up, not.
Yeah.
They didn't try to CG that. They didn't try to do any kind of camera trickery. No, they waited for sheep to start birthing, and they just fucking did it, which is cool.
Just a couple times. It straight up happens on camera. But then one of those times, before we get to that, I cannot stress enough how much nothing happens in the first 20 minutes. So,
there is a lot of nothing.
We talked about the A24 thing, but man, there is just a full several minute scene of Maria drinking coffee and reading a book. Maybe going to A24 now. I will admit to being a little bummed out just now. It cut to this shot of a woman silently reading.
And I get what they're establishing. I do.
Yeah.
All right. Plot progression.
Yeah, we got a movie.
All right. We are at the 18-minute mark. There's Ingvar. The husband is working on the tractor and feeding the sheep. And there's little teases throughout, which are like the sheep are like, even through the whole entire movie, the sheep are like, something's going on out there. The cat, the dog, all of them are like, they know that Grendel's out there. They just keep teasing it over and over again. The audience, us as the audience, are going, yeah, he needs to show up right now, okay? Why hasn't it happened yet?
Finally, one day, they're helping another sheepy give birth, and we don't get quite the reveal here.
No.
They're very careful about showing us stuff
in what they show. Very, very particular, which I admire.
They help one of the sheepies give birth, but while they don't show what happens, it's clear something's up.
Yes, they're very... Ingvar and Maria are very, like, just kind of taken aback. Not disgusted, just shocked. It's a lamb person, baby. Like, we know this.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this.
Seeing the trailer knows this.
Yeah. There's a lot of biblical imagery in this film. A lot.
Oh, if we're not going to spoil anything, but I'm pushing ahead a little bit.
Yeah, I think we have to jump around a little bit.
There's the scene where they're sleeping on the couch and they're watching a movie. And they're both kind of like falling asleep, not paying attention to the movie or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she asks him what's going on in the movie. He says it's like a folk tale or something.
I wasn't paying attention. Something about folklore.
This entire movie plays out like a folk tale.
Oh, yeah. A blending of like traditional Icelandic, Scandinavian folklore and kind of the early Christian influence, which I studied a good amount of in college, actually. It's very, like, unfortunately, everything we know about Scandinavians and the Vikings like was written by Icelandic monks, unfortunately. They just did not write much down. So there was always a blending of the two. And this film, we keep saying Grendel, because Beowulf, but like, yeah, like there's that, there, like Mary is always dressed in blue, which is associated, visually speaking, in art with the Virgin Mary, has a lamb. Jesus is referred to as, the lamb. It's all very, very on the nose.
Yeah.
And Peter, the uncle, who we'll get to, Peter, like, the fucking name Peter.
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Right. I keep thinking to myself, like, is there something there, or is that just a framing device? And I don't really know, because you could argue this was an immaculate conception, not literally, but figuratively. Like, it did just happen, and in their eyes, it's kind of like, oh my god, it's a miracle.
Hearing you say it now, it should have struck me as blatantly obvious, the whole, like, lamb thing and Maria thing, but yeah, it is pretty on the nose, now that I hear you say it.
And it's even, like, they're not really in a manger scene, but it is all very just rustic, and... yeah, it just feels very, very biblical with folklore thrown in. So that's kind of the tone of this movie. I guess is what I'm trying to get to, is a lot of nothing going on, because farming and husbandry, I'm sure, is a very, very repetitive, boring thing. But it is an A24 film, so there's a lot of just little teases here and there. It does make you wait for it. I guess my only real critique or like input on this would be like, you could have sped this up. However, this film is 106 minutes. And that's it.
And I will say I kind of appreciate... the thing I always think about when I'm watching A24 movies is, like, in the real world, people aren't always just fucking talking.
Very true.
If you're alone, you're not fucking talking to yourself. If you're with someone, it's not, like, constant conversation. Sometimes you're just with someone and there's silence. And sometimes that's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes you just enjoy someone's company and you can just sit with someone. But yeah, then
Yeah.
you're.
I do like
I
that
love
about
I
it.
love me some A24 movies.
Same. Even if they're very fantastical, the films feel very human. This is a human experience. This is a human
Yeah,
story. And it is clear that they, were really particular with their casting because the Ingvar and Maria play off each other very well.
we while watching it were questioning if these were actors or like farm people that they just got to be in their movie.
Right. And then we realize they're totally actors, but I mean that's the mark of good acting and casting and direction. Coming back to the plot.
For the plot, the sheepy with human parts is born. They're kind of like, what the hell? But eventually they bring it into the house. And not only do they bring it into the house, they already have a crib ready for it. Which, man, I didn't even realize that they already had the crib.
Right.
So it implies the old kind of standby cinema thing of it's a mom who was either unable to conceive or had a miscarriage or something to that effect.
You know what? Okay, it's an overused trope, but I do admire the idea of what if we have like this movie about like custody battles and the definition of being a parent. Yeah, how about like there's a half lamb, half person, and she's gonna fight a sheep.
Also, like the Grendel might be involved. Hey, honey, this is gonna sound weird, but we have a child support check in the mail. Do you know who the Grendel is?
Grendel, what the fuck? Sure, yeah, they've been trying. At least they tried at some point and were unsuccessful, and it's certainly hurt their relationship.
Oh wait, no, they're at the grave later, so they probably already had a child and it passed away. Yep, I think we just pieced that together.
Oh, I thought that was like a parent, and they were naming it after their parent. But you're totally right.
Yeah, I think they already had a child and it passed away.
Right. Yeah. Oh shit.
Okay.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
When you get blasted and watch movies, your brain's not fully engaging. So undoubtedly, there's gonna be people listening to this going, "You guys are fucking stupid."
Yes. Later in the movie, we see Maria visiting a grave, and it is for someone named Ada or Ada.
We're saying Ada. They say Ata.
Ata.
But like we're Americans, so we're gonna say Ada.
So they put the kid in the crib.
Actually, I just realized something else. When they first take the kid in, they're very unsure of how to treat the kid because the kid, you don't notice at first. It's swaddled from the neck down, so you just see the lamb head, and they put it they wash it and they put it in a little bed, like a tub with some straw in it, still treating it like a lamb. Over time, when they become more comfortable, then they get a crib. Then they start dressing it up. Then they change its diet.
And yeah, kind of, Maria is 100% into it from the get-go.
Yeah.
She is immediately, there's a baby with a lamb's head, and she's like, well, this is my baby now, and I'm taking care of it. Ingvar is kind of hesitant. You can tell at first, but then there's the scene where he sees Maria cradling the lamb baby and singing to it. He pretty quickly after that is on board as well.
Yeah, and has a moment where he's driving off in a tractor and just kind of starts breaking down and crying. And now, because of Sate's notes, I realized that was him kind of finally mourning the children they tried to have, and kind of just coming to terms with that, and then being able to move on, which
he did by driving the tractor to the bar. I'm gonna drive this thing to the bar.
It's gonna take 3 days, but it'll be worth it. Oh god, I can't afford a kid. Where's he gonna go to school? I guess Grendel could teach him.
Oh man, we're gonna have to share weekends with the Grendel.
Okay, I think you're right. I think he is driving into town. Where the fuck is he? This is, I think, out of their pasture range at this point.
Next shot is of him in that thing, on a city street. This is my new favorite movie.
It was funny. We didn't know they had they have a Land Rover. They have a proper car, but they drive the tractor so much, and for such long distances, we were like, they must drive that shit into town. How else do they get into civilization? Apparently that's not correct, but hey. And then the Grendel didn't show up yet.
Yeah, and then the Grendel didn't show up yet.
Which, again, I think we weren't being impatient because this entire time that they're falling more in love with Ada and they're raising her more and more. Ada's real mom, the sheep, is constantly baying at them, bugging them over and over and over again.
It's getting out of the barn and like coming up to their window.
Yeah,
to do
where they have Ada sleep in the crib. So like, mom's not happy.
Yeah. So it is from here we meet our third fully human, not part sheep character.
This is like the smallest cast I've seen in a long time. I cannot remember.
Yeah.
Bloody Pit of Horror had like 10 people. And Bloody Pit of Horror felt like a fucking like ensemble Coen Brothers film compared to this.
I did want to make a note that I eventually watched the riff tracks of Bloody Pit of Horror. I think my favorite bit of the riff tracks is they usually have a joke for everything. When they got to the spider room, you just heard Bill go, "Oh, come on. Everyone get used to it. We're never going to stop talking about Bloody Pit of Horror."
I don't think so. Rare is it that your pilot is so fucking strong, you know?
Yeah. So it's then that we meet Peter. Some people drive up in a car. They toss Peter out of their car along with his cell phone.
Yeah.
Tell him to fuck off. And how I immediately described Peter, he has on like jeans and a leather jacket. But he looks like Icelandic Ron Swanson.
Yeah, a little bit taller, a little bit more built, but like the beard. It really is the beard.
Yeah, it really is the beard.
Yeah.
He is tossed out by some people who apparently are sick of his shit. We, the viewers, will quickly become sick of his shit. But yeah, Peter eventually shows up on the farm. It's established that he is the brother of Ingvar, and I'm getting ahead of myself.
It's hard not to because there's not a lot of plot points in this movie.
Okay. This is important, though. Peter finds his way to the barn and, like, sleeps on a couch. While this is happening, Maria keeps having dreams of evil sheep.
Okay, yes. I want sheep to haunt your nightmares. This is gonna be good.
Eat us some straw. We are very hungry. Ada's mother is still outside their window making sheep noises. And she decides she's had enough of Ada's mother and grabs a gun that they have in the barn, goes to where Ada's mother she drags Ada's mother out into a field, shoots her, and buries her.
In a very, like, malicious, fuck you, this is my kid type of scene. You know, just point blank, shoots her in the head, grabs her by the horn, drags her, buries her, no fucks given. He was woken up, too, in, like, the middle of the night, which, by the way, other than the opening, there is no night. Because Iceland's geographical location is like there's just long stretches of permanent day. It's another horror movie where everything happens in the fucking daytime. And I think at that moment we were just like, oh, well, you know, you're really pissing off the Grendel, you know, by doing this. Probably shouldn't do that.
Grendel's gonna be kissed. You killed his baby mama. Dog's just trying to say in dog, like, you know, this is how you get fucked up by the Grendel, right? You're gonna kill the Grendel's wife and not expect the Grendel to show up?
You took the Grendel's baby, you murdered the Grendel. Have you not read anything of Beowulf? You all went to school, I assume. I'm a dog and I know this. You're just gonna parade Grendel's baby's mama out in front of the Grendel. Okay. I'm sorry, but you're kind of digging your own grave here. Really? You're not even gonna turn that into food? That's stupid.
So then we kind of get to meet Peter a little more. And Peter comes in, and Ingvar is, like, welcoming of his brother.
Yeah.
Ingvar is welcoming of his brother. Oh, you need a place to crash. That's cool. We'll feed you. We'll get you taken care of. Oh, hey, by the way.
Not even hey, by the way. Just having breakfast. Ada comes in. They're, you know... You can tell they decided, you know, we don't give two shits, you know, to deal with it. We have a lamb child. It's just that audience stand-in moment of Peter just going, what the fuck do I do in this situation?
He legit has a moment like that where she comes in, she has dinner, and then we cut to after dinner, and Peter talks to Ingvar, and it's just like, so hey, what the fuck?
And I like that Ingvar, like, straight up tells him right there, hey, look, I don't have to explain shit to you, and I'm not going, I'm happy, we're happy, so, you know, if you're going to stick around, that's it. There's no drawn-out philosophical dilemma, at least it's not spoken, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just Ingvar straight up playing me and like, hey, if you could, like, not be a dick about this, that would be great.
But, of course, Peter is a dick about things anyway.
Peter is a total dick about everything. He's a dick. Peter's a dick. The message of this movie is Peter's a dick.
And he didn't even die.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Peter doesn't die. And he
Uh,
was the most should have died character in this movie.
the doggo dies. It's not fair.
Damn it. Also, there's a dog,
He's
everybody.
an adorable sheepdog.
There's an
So
adorable
cute.
sheepdog that plays fetch and is a good doggo.
Very, very.
And yeah, honestly, for the first 20 minutes we were watching this movie, we were like waiting for something to happen, but like the other parts we're like, ha, sheep are cute.
Yeah, there was a lot of just adorable animal moments, including one where an animal just kind of photobombed the shoot.
Yes.
What's going on? We were talking about that, like, they had to wait for those sheep to get pregnant and give birth. Like, get the cameras set up, whatever happens, happens, because we're only going to get this a few times. So that was definitely like, keep it in, whatever.
So they start making Peter help out on the farm since he's staying with them. And Peter continues being like, hey, this is fucked up. This is fucked up. This is fucked up. You're all fucked up for being a part of this.
Right.
Then one night, while Maria and Ingvar are asleep, Peter grabs the gun that Maria used to kill Ada's mother and takes Ada out to a field, is absolutely about to kill her. But then we cut to the next scene. Maria goes looking for where Ada is because Ada's not where she fell asleep. And Peter's asleep, and Ada's asleep on top of her, and it's adorable.
One of only 2 redeemable moments for Peter in the film, and this is definitely one of them.
We also kind of skipped over. Peter made a clumsy pass at Ada. Not Ada. Well, he didn't try to fuck the sheep. Maria.
And Maria says,
Peter.
like, it establishes quickly, like, this has been a pattern, and don't do this. Stop ruining everything you have.
Fuck off. Good. Don't try and ruin this.
Right.
We're giving you a place to stay. Don't do this. You keep trying to do this. Cannot stress enough that Peter was not trying to fuck the sheep baby. So yeah, Peter warms up to Ada, but it's still creepy Uncle Peter. Eventually, this is where we get the shot we talked about earlier, where Maria is visiting a grave, and we see that the name on the grave is Ada. Right. Looking back on it, dead child.
I can see a couple just being very, very defeated, very like, not necessarily like, we're going to call it quits on the relationship, but this hurts things,
Also, since there have been a few shots establishing this since then, we talked about how in the opening 20 minutes they seemed very like cold and distant from each other. We've seen Ingvar and Maria be a little more intimate, be a little closer to each other. Yeah. Which is further established in a scene after this where Ingvar and Maria bone down.
Oh yeah. They
bone down hard.
They send Peter and Ada to go out and to fish in also the nice, lake that this couple owns. They own everything in Iceland.
So Uncle Peter goes fishing with Ada and, develops, Ada can't speak really, but develops kind of a rapport with her where she talks about how he was raised with Ingvar and stuff like that. And while they're fishing, Ingvar is also fishing, and he is ordered takeout. And good guy Ingvar.
Good on.
Yeah. So I'm lost.
Well, we're trying not to rush to the end because again, there are very few plot points in this movie on purpose.
Yeah.
And Sade, you fucking rule. Sade has done 2 things, many things, but like 2 things that I want to call out here. Number one, Sade has provided us notes that he took during our watching of just kind of providing the plot points. And at the end, has put fine. Or Fine. Fine. That also has some editor's commentary. The significance of Maria burying Ada's mother instead of using the meat the way you would actually, like with livestock, depicts what is a common and natural part of farm life as something closer to murder. And yeah, we did call that out of like, what, really? You're not even going to eat Ada's mother? No, that was like, fuck you, you're dead, you're gone. And I think this is kind of where the biblical association really just kind of ends because it kind of delves more into the folklore territory. And this is where, I don't want to say the horror ramps up more because it just doesn't until the very fucking end of this movie, but it's definitely taking a little bit of a tonal shift. You're very conflicted this entire movie because we called it very, very early on of like, okay, you're taking this baby from its mother who is actually a sheep. And I know that you want to raise this child as your own, but there's got to be comeuppance for this. There's no way that something doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And they are good parents, but how do you tell someone who's been trying for long, so long to have a kid that they fucked up and they really, at least the universe is saying, no, you don't deserve this kid. And there's going to be, there will be blood. It's not an easy thing to think about.
Oh, absolutely.
So they bone down. Then they have a little party.
Then they watch what we assumed was soccer, but they're apparently watching a handball game and getting very upset about it, and they're knocking back a few. They're all having a few drinks, but Ingvar, for the most part, seems to be putting them down.
And to Peter's credit, like, when he gets back from fishing, Ingvar offers his brother, hey, do you want some wine? He's just like, no, I shouldn't. Again, not telling, but showing that Ingvar knows he has a problem with drinking, and he knows he gets into trouble when he does it. But then the very next scene, like, he has a sip, and the next scene, he's already, down in a beer. So you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, people drinking a lot. The dad and uncle knocking back several drinks, having a few sups, as it were. The game isn't going their way. Ada seems confused by all of this.
Much like me, when my parents were watching the game, I also wanted to leave.
Yeah, I've only in recent years gotten into football, but in the entirety of my childhood, didn't give a single shit. Also, my favorite sports movie called The Goon, if anyone's ever seen it.
Oh, okay. My brother watched that and he said to watch it. I probably should at this point.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Oh, when they're drinking, it's also revealed that Peter apparently was in a knockoff Depeche Mode synthwave band.
This is my favorite.
It's pretty great because it's the other redeemable Peter moment where we're like, okay, I kind of respect Peter more.
Oh, Peter.
They turn off the game because their team lost and they're sad. And Maria's like, hey, let's do something and cheer ourselves up. Pulls out a fucking VHS, puts it in, and it's young Peter in an 80s-tastic synthwave music video.
Also, we get maybe a little background because it looks like some of the people in the video with Peter are the people who tossed him out of the car earlier in the film.
Actually, I'm going to ask you this. When you saw Peter tossed out the car, what did you assume was happening there? Who were they?
Okay.
Why was it happening?
Yeah. Can admit I was very fucking confused.
Yeah.
Because when Peter first wakes up in the barn and Ingvar is talking to him, we briefly didn't know if he fucking knew this guy.
Yeah, it was very unclear.
It looked like they just kicked a dude out of a car and he walked to whatever was nearby and found the barn. Mm-hmm. But apparently that's where he was going. Ingvar mentions at some point that Peter owes money to some people.
Yeah.
But man, it's weird.
It's weird. My first thought was like, I did think he owed them money, but it was like kind of tied up with drugs or something. And maybe this is, Iceland doesn't just, fucking shoot your ass dead there. They just go and drop you off in the middle of nowhere. But again, like, how would that work? Because Iceland's a small country. You would just show back up. So it's revealed, one of the people in the music video was the driver of the car that dropped him off, and she's like, I think she's playing the guitar or something, I forget, maybe a guitar. Yeah. But it's also hinted towards earlier than this when they're cleaning out the old shed, and Peter finds his old drum set and is perfectly competent at playing. So they actually do lead up to that very, very well. It's nice how they do that.
You watch the music video, they're having a grand old time. Peter and Maria are dancing along to the song with Ada.
Yeah.
While this is happening, the fucking Grendel shows up. And we don't see the Grendel.
Movie, I love you. Yeah. You gotta stop teasing the Grendel like this. Do something with it. Give us
some Grendel. We want the Grendel. Wait. Oh, shit. Wait for it. Come on.
Even if it's just a giant ass.
Yes.
Fucking.
Look in our.
Oh!
Is it the Grendel?
Oh! No, Poppy! Oh!
No!
I wanted everyone but you to die. Mostly Peter.
The Grendel, unfortunately, kills the dog, whose name is just Dog, as far as we can tell.
Can we name the dog? Because Ingvar didn't. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe the fault of the translators who did the subtitles, but anytime he calls for the dog, the subtitles just say Dog.
Yeah. If you're the type of person who, like, has a dog, a lifelong companion, that's also your sheepdog, you're gonna name that thing. If you don't name that thing, you're probably a psycho. And I don't want to meet you.
It reminds me of a joke I heard from someone. I think it was a Dave Barry joke. He's talking about the song Horse with No Name. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. And it's like, you know what, dude? You're in the desert. You're on presumably a long trail, trying to get through the desert to survive. Name the fucking horse.
What else are you gonna do? So yeah, Ada wanders outside because she's bored. The dog has just been like presumably staring at the Grendel this entire time, waiting for something to happen. And in the reflection of Ada's eye, we see the outline of Grendel. Then, unfortunately, Pupper runs off, and, being the good dog that they are, gets killed. Ada is fine. So we now know that the Grendel's at large, but the adults do not.
Yes. Also, I need to stress to everyone listening, we decided it was the Grendel. At no point in the film.
I'm sorry. If your opening of your film is some heavy-breathing monster creature walking through a fucking snowy Icelandic wilderness, how am I supposed to not think of anything other than the Grendel?
Just so everyone listening is aware, we decided it was the Grendel. No point in this film is the name the Grendel actually stated.
I don't want to put our editor through this, but I do. I may just go back and listen and like count how many times we say Grendel while watching this movie. It's a lot.
It was a lot.
Because there's like there's long stretches where nothing happens, and we're just like, okay. And then the Grendel pops out.
Grendel killed the dog. That's unfortunate. And we go back to inside, and Ingvar's had a few too many, and they put Ingvar to bed. Ada gets in bed with him and snuggles, and it's very, very adorable.
Cute. There's so many cute ass moments in this.
Yeah. And while he's in bed, Peter tries to put the moves on Maria.
Again.
For the second time that we've seen. But he's a little more forward this time. Kind of has her backed into a corner a little bit.
Yeah.
She seems to give in and kiss him, only to distract him not long enough to toss him into a room and lock the door.
Locks his ass in a supply closet.
And it's fucking great.
It's great. Very well executed. Had us very like, oh no, Maria, don't do this. Yeah, but like her plan all along was just to lock his ass in the drunk tank.
Because fuck you, Peter.
Yeah, really.
Next morning, everyone's, sobering up, and Maria opens the door. Peter is asleep in a sleeping bag that he apparently found in the laundry room he'd been locked in. And Maria drives him to a bus stop, gives him some money, and tells him to fuck off.
Oh, and,
not in so many words, but...
essentially. Like, is this a bus stop, I hope? You're not just dropping him off?
Yeah, later.
Could technically just walk back.
Have fun, Petey.
Okay, it's a bus stop. That's good.
And the bus driver's the Grendel.
I would be so psyched. That fucking happened. And Ingvar is still passed out at this point, so she very planned this very, very well.
Oh, yeah, we were wondering what the significance of the tractor breaking down was earlier. But it brings us to this. So earlier in the movie, Peter took Ada out fishing, had her in the tractor that we keep talking about. But the tractor broke down at one point, and he walks her the rest of the way.
Right.
So at this point in the movie, that happened way earlier, but at this point in the movie, while Maria is out taking Peter to the bus stop, Ingvar takes Ada to go fix the tractor, which was just left abandoned, essentially.
Yeah, good. It just stopped working out there.
And, it is at this point, we get what we've always wanted, what we had been hoping for the entire film. And I don't care what anyone says. We get the fucking Grendel, who appears to be like, just a half man, half ram, kind of a satyr.
Giant goatman, but like bipedal, just, very tall, very muscular, angry looking fucker.
Had this been any other film, I would have laughed so fucking hard at the sight of this goat man with a gun.
Whoa, shit.
What? I'm sorry?
God damn.
Okay.
I mean, you kind of shot the wrong person, but that's
yeah.
Fine. Come visit Norway. We have giant sheep men.
Come visit Norway. The Grendel has a gun.
An APB out on a Grendel, armed and dangerous. Or not APB, a bolo, I guess.
In retrospect, it is pretty fucking funny.
It's just, I don't know. We were we were waiting for Grendel for so damn long. And
you're waiting for Grendel, and we got this, and we decided this is Grendel.
Yeah, and Grendel caps our poor boy.
Grendel shoots poor Ingvar, who didn't do anything wrong.
No.
In the same sense that, the lamb mom didn't do anything wrong.
True, and it's not like Ingvar didn't know what they were doing. They were taking the child away. So
yeah,
he didn't.
So it's kind of an eye for an eye in that sense.
Very much.
But yeah, Ingvar gets capped and is left dying, and Ada tries to snuggle with him like she did earlier when he was drunk and they had a nap together. But the Grendel takes Ada's arm and pulls her away and takes her away from them.
And Ada's not happy about it. Misses her dad.
Ada does not seem to want to go.
It's rough. And then Maria returns from dropping off Peter and
finds Ingvar on their apparently 4 million mile stretch of land, which was
100,000 acres.
But she finds dead Ingvar, and Ingvar, he's not quite dead when she finds her, but he passes soon after.
Yeah,
and
he's barely lucid.
And we kind of end on Maria kind of reflecting on what's happened, and maybe sort of implied that she sees the Grendel, maybe, but not quite.
Distance, yeah, like seeing them just like leaving, and she knows she can't do anything about it.
And that's the end of the movie.
It's not a happy ending, for sure.
It is not a happy ending, but very much in line with kind of like the folk tale origins of what's going on.
It's a cautionary tale, or maybe not even cautionary, just kind of like these are the consequences of cradle robbing, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, this is what's going to happen. It's one thing to rescue a child who's been abandoned. It's another thing to literally take them from their mother. And the movie does a wonderful job of playing with your perceptions and your expectations. Because, like I said, we knew this was going to happen. Not this exactly, but we knew this was going to be recompense.
To some extent, anyone who watches this understands.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen. Some consequences are coming.
There is a looming threat that just hangs over this movie for 85 minutes straight of just always there in the background. And it happens, and it doesn't make the comeuppance any easier to process, but you're like, yeah, we told you.
Yeah. If you just Google like a picture of what the Grendel looks like in this movie, and it shows you a picture of the Ram Man holding the gun, it's probably one of the sillier looking things you'll ever see in your life.
Out of context.
But this movie absolutely earns it.
It does. It does. Everything was handled very, very well in this movie. I have a spider room moment. Do you have one?
Oh, let me hear yours.
Mine is straight up Ingvar maybe passing out, maybe having a premonition, I don't know, just running through a marshland with the dog and then falling and then getting up and then getting close to the camera and just yelling out Ada, and then everything's fine and we just go to the next scene. I still don't know what that was.
That is a great spider room moment. I'm gonna say we've already talked about my spider room moment. It is the moment where we don't quite know where the movie's going, but we know where the movie's gonna end up. There's still like 40 minutes left of the film. And yeah, it's gotta be Peter's music video. It's straight up like knockoff Depeche Mode, maybe a little Duran Duran.
Who did Cars?
Gary Newman?
Gary Newman. Like, I got Gary Newman vibes from it too. Like, it was wonderful. It was a tiny little snapshot in music history, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, that was for sure my spider room moment. All right. So that's the movie. Overall, I really fucking enjoyed it.
It was great. This is one I might suggest to... I have kind of a little movie night going with my parents that we very infrequently do because they're traveling a lot. But when it's my turn again, I think I might put on Lamb because I think I want to see their reactions. And I just want to watch this again. I want to watch this because I know I've missed stuff and I know that I haven't made certain connections. This movie is on the nose with its themes, but I think the acting and just the lack of dialogue really allows you to take time and fill in things in your head. And I want to do that again because I know we have not discussed everything about this movie that we can. But this is our first viewing, as a lot of these episodes are going to be. I really liked it. A24 continues to impress. I've yet to see a A24 film that I don't like. I wish more movies were like this. They're just like, they took a weird ass concept, but they craft something very wonderful and special around it. Also, more films, more horror films specifically, that happen in pure daylight. Because we've had two now in recent history, this and Midsommar. Good movie. Yeah, no, go check it out. We watched it on Prime. By the time this comes out, it might be elsewhere, but worth the price of admission for sure. I like it.
Yeah, worth a rental.
What are we gonna concoct for this movie?
Okay, I'm gonna put something out there right now. Something I have had as our base liquor.
Okay.
There is a vodka called Reka.
Oh,
Is a Nordic vodka, I believe, made in Iceland.
I think it's Icelandic. Yeah.
One of the best vodkas I've ever had. That is going to be our base spirit.
I 100% agree. I think I've had Eureka multiple times now. I just bought a bottle of it when I've been on a vodka kick. It's great. Yeah, no, very smooth, very, very, very good.
So what kind of vodka cocktail do we want?
So, I mean, vodka's nice because it goes with so many things.
Yeah, you can mix vodka with basically anything.
I kind of want to make this a very like pastoral, down on the farm drink. Let me think. I had something in my head for like a garnish, but I don't want to get to that until the end. Because like this movie, and this is how I would want it reflected in the cocktail, is it's strong, but it also has just so much heart. There's so many heartwarming, emotional moments in here.
When I think a vodka drink that has heart, something homey,
yeah,
I think a mule.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So a mule, we typically want with our vodka ginger beer or something similar, and lime juice.
So lingonberries.
A lingonberry mule.
So akavit it's a liquor made from lingonberries, which is Scandinavian, and I don't know if it's particularly Icelandic, but it's definitely like in that region of Scandinavia. And I know that's kind of deviating a little bit from the mule format, but if we could have
no,
it's almost like a gin botanical. It's almost like a slow gin.
It's lingonberry is very, very similar to cranberry in flavor.
Yeah. A little bit more hearty, I would say.
Yeah, if you go straight ginger beer, Reka vodka, lime juice, and a lingonberry, whatever you said that liqueur was.
Akavit.
Akavit. I think we got something there.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to go fucking try this. I've been trying to like reintroduce akavit into my drinking diet for a while now. Oh god, I've got a story actually. The last time I had akavit was my friends and I went to the Nordic festival up in northern San Diego County, and like someone had set up a Norse underworld themed escape room, which was fucking awesome. Before and after, they like had some food, just like, you know, basic barbecue stuff with like a Norwegian, because it was put on like by the Norwegian Society of San Diego, but it had like some brats and stuff, and they just like had akavit out that you could just order shots of, and I was like, fuck yeah, I haven't had akavit in ages. But my favorite part of that outing, other than like just being able to throw axes for half an hour because they just let us, was when we were in the second room, a troll just no, not troll, a giant, because we were in, I forget, sorry, my fucking, I'm drunk. Anyway, point is, an ice giant pops out and just starts like, very good actor, like dude's tall, is owning it, but then like he's doing a very harsh guttural voice, and then eventually kind of slips, but he like he just leans into it and goes, "I've suddenly turned into Vegeta. Kakarot, you didn't come to my birthday party." and then we all just started laughing. We all started laughing, and he realized quickly, okay, everyone's the same age in this room. But yeah, okay, so Reka vodka, akavit, lime juice, ginger beer.
And ginger beer.
Do we want to garnish? Because I was thinking we like pay homage to the flower crown.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be a daisy or wildflower, but something like that.
I occasionally garnish with mint on a mule.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. Go out and find some wildflowers and just put them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garnish with wildflowers.
Yeah. Wash them. But,
wash them. Make them sure they're edible. Don't poison yourself. Yeah. And there's a Moscow Mule, and now we have the Iceland lamb.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I would absolutely drink this.
Maybe tomorrow, if I have time, I'll go out and I'll pick this up, because maybe, I really want to try this. This sounds fun. You know what? A great movie inspired a wonderful drink. I love this podcast.
Yeah. You know what I think I should do?
Another Irish car bomb.
I think I should sink one and drink one.
All right. Well, I hope that you all enjoyed the episode. Go watch Lamb.
Go watch Lamb, absolutely.
Go watch Lamb. Give this some.
As much as we did not recommend the Bye Bye Man, you should absolutely watch this film.
Yeah, this one is a yes. Bye Bye Man was a no.
Bye Bye Man was a no.
Just don't.
No, don't do it. Don't give them money. We already did, and that was enough people.
Who decided to release an unrated version? Someone who's a genius, because it got us to pay them.
I saw that movie twice.
Oh my god. Yeah, so hope you've enjoyed the podcast. Go hit us up on Twitter in the Discord, in the comments section. Let us know what you've thought about Lamb. Let us know if there's anything that you think we should watch for the podcast. And make sure to use, if you're on Twitter or other social media, hashtag Jaymeson Tapes, so you can kind of get the word out there. Any parting words, Alan?
There's also the Creative Horror Patreon.
True.
If you wanna donate to that, that's how you get into the Discord.
Come fund our alcoholism.
Yeah, buy us a few drinks. Other than that, hey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is over.
Bye.
Bye.
The Jaymeson Tapes is hosted and created by Alan Cheney and Abysmii. If you have a movie suggestion for the podcast, please leave a comment, message us on the Creative Horror Discord, or tweet at Creative Horror with the hashtag Jaymeson Tapes. Creative Horror is a network of creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. Please visit us at creativehorror.com. This is a movie about Grendel. Although, I mean, if I had to live in fear of Grendel every winter, I probably wouldn't say much either.
God damn it. Fucking Grendel got into the barn again. Fucking Grendel.
I'm saying we could go back in time and kill Grendel.
You know, Grendel killed John F. Kennedy.
Don't you know that's when Grendel comes out?
Set out the Grendel traps, right? We have a child support check in the mail. You know who the Grendel is?
Grendel, what the fuck? I guess Grendel could teach him.
Oh man, we're gonna have to share weekends with the Grendel. Oh, I the Grendel.
That's how Grendel gets in.
Yeah, this is literally fucking teeming with Grendels.
The Grendel has visitation. This is the approved meeting place. And then the Grendel pops in.
You happen to know the Grendel? He dated. Dog's just trying to say in dog, like, you know, this is how you get fucked up by the Grendel, right? You're gonna kill the Grendel's wife and not expect the Grendel to show up?
You took the Grendel's baby. You're just gonna parade Grendel's baby's mama out in front of the Grendel. I have a confession, brother. Grendel sent me here. Gonna need you to watch the moors. Make sure Grendel will come in.
And be on the lookout for the Grendel.
Do they not know about Grendel? Hope you get eaten by the Grendel. 2 hours from the Grendel in every direction. And then the Grendel got her.
Oh man, we got it started with the Grendel.
You gotta stop teasing the Grendel like this.
Yeah.
And do something
give
with
us
it.
some Grendel.
If it's the Grendel.
We want the Grendel. Hey, the Grendel!
Oh! I'm half Grendel. Yeah, there's the Grendel in the background the entire time. It's been stalking us.
You, me, Grendel. God, I hope you're the first to get killed by the Grendel. Close your door!
Seriously.
The place is probably crawling with Grendels. And the bus driver's the Grendel!
I wanted the Grendel to appear from behind the bus. It didn't happen. Did you rob us of a Grendel sighting? An APB out on a Grendel? Armed and dangerous? Or not. It's a Grendel, you dumbass!